like that.
Nice.
What do you think?
Did a good job. You're welcome. Hello. All right. Facebook, and let's see here, YouTube Live, and get adjusted here. I don't want to show all my sewing stuff back there. And let's see here. So we're getting a terrible storm in this part of Ohio, so I will talk quickly. Today is August 25th, 2021, and part of the newsletter announcement was that for the rest of August, I would share on YouTube, I would share videos on starting a memory bear business. So backtrack, it says sewing business in the title. So this is a sewing business, but it is not for a seamstress or a tailor specific. It is, I'm strictly talking to memory bear makers and sentimental sewing artists. That's what I am, that's what I do, and that is who I help. So saying all of that, hopefully it's helpful for you. Okay. Free newsletter at stephaniegrams.com. That's in the bio. So be sure to join that. Right now I have a 1,000 YouTube subscriber giveaway. There will be 6 total winners. So read the newsletter and learn more about that. And let's just get to it, right? All right. So friends, I'm glad you're here. I am glad you're part of my channel. And I hope that you find all the information that I share useful for your business. And if you have specific questions, join my YouTube group or send me a private message, that kind of thing, and I'll do my best to answer that for you. So the very first thing I'm going to cover today, and I'm not going over the entire list. The list is in my ebook. It's still online. So if you purchase it, you download, you print it yourself. I will be removing that in September and replacing it with an expanded version along with increase in price, and it will be already printed for you. So it'll be like a hard copy book. All right. Think of a business name. So you think that it needs to have memory bears in it, but if you offer more products and memory bears, then think about that before you choose a name that says memory bears. Also, branding goes along with your business name. So think about maybe using your real name, like Sally's Memory Bears or Sally Smith's, memory bears, something like that. That way you can stand out from all of the other memory bear makers that are in the world. Again, that's up to you, and just make sure you Google it, make sure it's available. You need to make sure it's not trademarked. So I do have resources for researching business names and coming up with ideas for a business name. If you're interested in that, please visit my website. Also, you need a business plan, and it's not a typical business plan, and therefore I have a template for business plans for memory bear owners, and it is customized. You can customize it to your branding into your own business of whatever it is that you're going to do in your business, basically. It is not full of legal advice or tax advice. You need to seek that out on your own, because I am not giving legal or tax advice. I am not a professional in either one of those, but I do give you the template and information to take to a professional. So hopefully that's helpful. You will need, this is on the planning phase, by the way, the planning phase of starting your sewing business. You need to decide what supplies that you're going to need on hand. And yes, I have a very exhaustive list already typed up and ready for you, and it is in the ebook. We talk about startup cost. My belief is you need a sewing machine, thread, scissors, and a pattern, and that's it. Because you can start this job with literally just those few supplies. And notice I didn't mention interfacing or fusible web. I did not mention floss or safety eyes or safety nose. And what I mean by that are, so I buy mine in bulk, and this is how they come, the safety noses, and they come into the brand that I buy is the only brand that I trust, because I've tried other brands and they pull out of the fabric, they fall apart. Sometimes the little plastic disc right here rips in half. So this particular brand, and I share that brand in my book, by the way, is the only brand I trust. We also have two very popular types of noses, and this goes on the supply list. So this is the planning phase. Today's video is strictly about the planning phase. This is a bear nose. See its little nostrils right there? So that's popular, but this is like the traditional, most popular. At least my customers prefer this nose. Hold on. I want to get a good picture of it for you. It's literally just like a little oval shape. So those are the most popular noses, at least for my customers. So supplies, I talk about supplies in depth in the book and also in my online courses. So yes, I am an online instructor, and yes, I will teach you how to sew the traditional 9-piece memory bear. And by that, this is what I mean. So this is a traditional 9-piece bear, and you will see him modeling throughout the rest of August, because he's getting ready to go to his new owner. So I thought I'd show him real quick a few more times. This is the traditional memory bear, and it's made out of 9 pieces. And this is the most popular, most asked for, most requested memory bear. I think everybody would agree on that. And if not, we'll just agree to disagree and we'll move on from there. But anyways, I actually show you how to make one in less than 2 hours, from designing the bear, looking at the clothes that you received, cutting it out, all the steps. 2 hours if you know how to sew. So that's my disclaimer. If you already know how to sew, 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes. If you are not really good at sewing or you're really new, we'll push it to about 3.5 hours. But the 9-piece, I have a very fast way of sewing this bear up, and it's a very unique way, and they turn out beautiful. All right, so supplies. My very first memory bear order came through from a stranger that saw me with a sewing machine on Facebook. I wasn't even sewing a memory bear. I never spoke about memory bears. I knew nothing about memory bears, to be honest with you. So this particular individual saw me with my sewing machine that I happened to be actually making, because I make custom art dolls. Those before I made memory bears, but she asked about memory bears. I said, yeah, of course I can. I mean, I don't sew clothes for humans. When my daughters were younger, I sewed clothes for them, but now, no, thank you. I do make clothes for memory bears, and I make clothes for dolls when they are requested, and I do make t-shirt blankets, not to be confused with the t-shirt quilt, because they're two different things. I do not have a long arm quilting machine, therefore I don't offer quilts. I offer blankets. And my blankets are 3 layers instead of just the 2. So they technically could be called a quilt. However, I don't have the long arm to do all the fancy, really pretty design work, you know what I mean? But I do have the 3-layer t-shirt memory blankets. So back to the planning phase. I did not have polyfill. I did not have stabilizer or interfacing. I use both words. They mean the same thing to me. I did not have safety eyes or a safety nose. I did not have floss. I had scissors, thread, and a sewing machine when I took her order. And my business has blown up since then. Okay, now research your competition, and I will tell you secrets about competition because I have been a research assistant. So remember in my last video, I talked about before I started this, I owned for over 13 years a virtual assistant business. That's a generic term. So underneath that umbrella of being a VA, I offered marketing, publicity, and with that came research. And the longer you get to know me and the more you watch my videos, the more in depth I will go into my past services and how all this ties into your memory bear sewing business. Okay, so we talk about research competition in depth in my courses. All right, set realistic goals. This is where you need to sit down with yourself and look at your calendar. I will flash my calendar to you. Literally flash it because I don't want you to read all of my notes. So this is just part of August. Can you see all that mess? That is just part of August, okay? I have a lot of goals, and I am able to reach 90% of those goals. I'm not a braggart at all. I am very realistic on my time available. I have worked full-time and worked my company full-time, and I still have a husband and 2 special need adult daughters that I take care of. Plus I have to take care of myself, and I spend time with the Lord every day. So I am very busy, but I make sure that I'm productive when I'm busy and not just busy to be busy. So you need to set realistic goals for yourself and your company. Decide, is this a hobby? Is this a business? That's truly where you need to start with that. Okay, so the next 2 things tie in with your competition. So listen to what I'm saying very, very closely, and don't lose heart with what I'm about to say. Don't feel overwhelmed or like you're totally lost on this, because I go in depth in all of my classes. I have an entire class dedicated to seriously just competition. So your number one competitor, do you know who that is? It's yourself. Truly it is. You are your number one competition. I wouldn't have believed it if it wasn't true for me, but it's even been true for my students. So decide what you want from this business. All right. So now, when you research your competition, you're going to look at how they price their items. You're going to look at what items they offer. You're really going to know, do you want to offer the same things they offer, or do you want to offer something different? Okay, just because they offer a miniature memory bear does not mean that you have to offer a miniature memory bear. Just because they offer a fox or a dinosaur does not mean that you have to offer a fox or a dinosaur. All right, so this is where getting to know you comes in handy. And last but not least, as far as planning goes, research your local markets. If you would have watched my video from August 24th, 2021, so that was yesterday, I did talk about networking and your local market in depth. I think I spent 15 minutes on that. If you didn't watch it, please go back and watch it. Write down what I say. write down your questions that you might want to ask me, and get on the newsletter. That way you can find our free group. Part of being in the group is that you need to be on my newsletter. All right, so I hope this was helpful for today, and I'm hoping that tomorrow's a good day and I'm back on. Let's see how the storm goes for Ohio. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to give a like, a subscribe, a share, a nice comment. Mean comments are blocked. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great one. That took forever.